Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I look at her in awe, a life into the world that is so compassionate and feeling, loving, that she has to push herself to these tremendous lengths to try to get a platform so that she can speak for those who have no voice.
Supreme Master Ching Hai, with tears of love and awe, gratefully present the Shining World Compassion Award to Ms. Fiona Oakes with heartfelt praises and sincere respect for all that you do for our precious animal friends and the planet, plus a gift of $21,000 as a humble token of support for your noble work. May you have continued success in your heartfelt, touching and inspiring endeavours, and may the Providence bless you and your loved ones forevermore. You are a saint.
Continue watching to find out more.
Greetings, sublime viewers. I'm Ron. The warm-hearted people of the Cayman Islands in the Caribbean thank you for being exemplary citizens of the world. Welcome to the final episode of Running for Good, Queen of the Extreme Fiona Oakes. Fiona is in a class of her own in the world of animal advocacy. She provides a forever home for over 600 animals, often taking in injured animals who require intensive and costly medical care, and takes on the world's most challenging ultra-endurance races, despite a missing kneecap, just to promote the compassionate and earth-saving vegan lifestyle. In the feature-length documentary by award-winning filmmaker Keegan Kunn, Running for Good, Fiona talks about the driving force behind her dedication.
I've been very strong, but I am very, very sensitive. I abhor cruelty to humans and animals alike. I don't think that in the 21st century especially, people should be suffering, and I certainly don't think animals should be suffering at people's hands. I can't turn a blind eye. It's not in me to do that.
In an interview with fellow vegan activist Victoria Moran, Fiona shared an episode at her sanctuary that brought her both joy and sadness.
I remember one day in the summertime, it was very, very hot, and we got a load of bananas and watermelons. So I thought, a late evening snack for the pigs, I'll take them over the road. And to see these little pigs, there's 121 pigs come running over for these bananas and all the fresh fruit. And yes, it's a joy. You see how excited they were, and they were making choices. No, I don't want a banana. I want the watermelon. I want this. I want that. And then you remember the ones that don't. You remember the ones that are in farrowing crates. You remember the ones that won't see the light of day ever in their life. They might get a sniff of fresh air when they go into an abattoir. And that's very sad, because each life is important. So for me, there are highs and there are lows, and obviously that's why I started running, because I could take in 450 animals, I could take in 500, 600, but that's nothing. I've got to address the cause, the reason that these animals are needing rescuing, and that's always the closest. That from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep, and very often what I'm thinking of when I'm dreaming.
Despite her impossible schedule, caring for the animals and training for an elite running career, Fiona somehow finds the time to give guidance to aspiring runners on social media. Fiona's kindness has also won the hearts of fellow runners. One of them is ultramarathoner Lynn Huynh, who ran alongside Fiona in the 2013 North Pole Marathon.
I came in like 6.5 hours later, and she hugged me and she just said, "I am so proud of you." And I was like, "Really? Like, you've been laying here for 6 hours waiting for me to finish?" She's like, "Yeah, but I think you were the toughest." She's so incredibly strong, and she kind of denies it in herself, but she's so willing to acknowledge it in others. Honestly, like, I've never seen someone so strong and so humble.
Perhaps there is no bigger Fiona fan than her mother, Meg. Fiona calls her the rock in her life.
I look at her in awe, a life into the world that is so compassionate and feeling, loving, that she has to push herself to these tremendous lengths to try to get a platform so that she can speak for those who have no voice.
Marvellous viewers, let us pause now to remember the divine within. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show. Although Fiona never sought the limelight, she has received many awards and accolades through the years. In 2014, she was named the Vegan Athlete of the Year by GreatVeganAthletes.com. In 2018, she received 70,000 votes to win the Vegan Athlete of the Year award from the UK's Vegan Festival Awards. In the same year, PETA presented her with its first Best Vegan Athlete award. Also in 2018, the prestigious Amplifon Brave Britain Awards honoured her with the Charity Champion Award for her work at Tower Hill Stables Sanctuary. Fiona has also attracted the attention of a vegan entrepreneur, Will Green, who worked with her to create the Fiona Oakes line of vegan cross-training shoes, released in 2017. The shoes are available online at wills-vegan-store.com. 30% of all proceeds from the shoe sales go toward Tower Hill Stable Sanctuary. In 2019, Fiona was training very hard through the bitter cold winter months for her 4th Marathon des Sables in April 2020. Unfortunately, the race was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has also led to a drop in donation revenues for the Tower Hill Stables Sanctuary, casting a shadow over its future. Fiona holds nothing back when speaking about the zoonotic disease ever since its outbreak. Here are some snippets from a 10-minute gem she posted on Facebook on March 31, 2020.
The reality is clear, whether it be SARS, MERS, COVID-19, Nipah, Ebola, swine fever, avian flu, they are all caused by eating animals. Whether those animals be factory farmed, it makes no difference. Since all coronavirus are caused by transferal from non-human to human animals, then surely now is the time to consider adopting a global vegan policy, which would be the most effective way of preventing future incidences. We may develop a vaccine for this particular strain, but what if it mutates or another one comes along, which, given past history, seems more than likely? It may be argued you cannot tell people what to eat, that they are now being told to stay incarcerated in their homes, isolated and feeling helpless and frightened. Shortly, being vegan and ending this type of disaster is a choice they should be made more aware of and allowed to consider as a very real and viable option to protect themselves and each other from this happening again. For me, I always understood prevention was better than any cure. So you do the maths.
Global vegan policy is exactly what Supreme Master Ching Hai called for in a series of urgent messages to humanity in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.
There are a few ticking bombs, not just one. No need to wait for any even climate change. One incurable sickness, one strange sickness after another. We cannot run away from our karma, meaning the consequence of our action. As you sow, so shall you reap. The Bible states that. All the main religion of the world states that. And this vegan law is the most effective way to save our world.
Indeed, in light of the exhaustive research by World Watch Institute and others pointing to livestock raising as the #1 cause of human-induced climate change critically endangering future generations, can we continue to consider meat and dairy consumption a matter of personal choice? In another poignant Facebook message on July 27, 2019, Fiona again does not hold back about it.
What is my vegan message? Why have I lived and will die by this ethical stance? The only way the world can change, humanity can be saved, and the suffering can cease is if we adopt a whole new way of living, thinking, behaving, speaking, caring and believing. We have to open our hearts and minds to the suffering of others and break down the barriers of speciesism, racism and discrimination we have erected ourselves, generation on generation. We don't have time to waste. We reinvent the model completely, or we fry in a furnace fueled by human greed, selfishness and consumerism. True empathy and compassion for all living beings is the only thing which will enable us to save this planet.
In her recent urgent message to world leaders, Supreme Master Ching Hai points to the same solution and lays out a roadmap to a peaceable future.
Because you know well, by now, by UN warning, by scientific research report, we know that the meat, fish, eggs, milk, laboratory tests on animals, leather industry, anything to do with hurting animals, domestic or wild, are detrimental to our world. We talk about all kinds of climate reduction or reducing air pollution, but animal raising, fish, egg, milk industry, etc., anything to do with animals are the worst producers of lethal methane gas, which heats up our planet. So, stopping these brutal, murderous businesses is the fastest way to cool our earth. Do the vegan law, do sign it, do practice it, do follow through. do be vegan. That's the right thing, and that's all you have to do. Everything else will fall into place.
We are profoundly grateful to Supreme Master Ching Hai for her loving guidance and tireless work to rescue the world. We also sincerely thank Fiona for her deep insights and for being such a beacon of light. To learn more about Fiona Oakes and ways to help with her sanctuary, please visit fionaoakesfoundation.co.uk. Avant-Garde viewers, we appreciate your attentive presence for this final episode of our series. Coming up next is The Almighty, Part 2 of 4, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May you be utterly fulfilled every moment of your life in heaven's forever grace. Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/VE.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/VE。
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule 和 suprememastertv.com/VE。